Okay, well, this is a video I'm quite excited to make. It's a video I'd probably have made several months ago as I'm making videos at that time, but I wasn't. I'm making videos now. And it's to do with the way we label people and issues of race. And it cropped up really from a situation that occurred in football. Football in the UK, there is a slogan that goes along with it: kick it out, kick racism out of football. Let's stop judging people by the colour of their skin in football. A very admirable campaign, a very admirable ideology that's behind it. I'm sure most people watching this video would agree. And there was a situation in football that's still not been resolved involving two footballers, John Terry and Anton Ferdinand. The former was accused of calling the latter a black cunt. The thing that sprung to mind specifically with that was how society handled those two terms. The term cunt is not in dispute. He definitely called him a cunt. He admits that. But there is no sanction. There is very little condemnation attached to what is undoubtedly an insult there. It all hinges on whether he called him a black cunt rather than a blind cunt or anything else similar. That his whether he receives a lengthy ban or anything whatsoever hinges on that. And so that really kind of perked me up there, because I thought, right, so we can see just how much society attaches to labels and how important it is that we don't start judging people by the colour of their skin. So it was at this point that we move on to the meat and drink of the video, because it was at this point that something struck me like a sledgehammer, which is that concurrently we are saying the state-sponsored position, the position of the most politically correct individuals out there, is that we shouldn't be judging people by the colour of their skin. This should be a non-issue. And yet the very terms that they encourage us to use for the people that have had the most problems over the years, Northern Europeans and Sub-Saharan Africans, are based on skin colour. Yes, the proper state-sponsored, politically correct terms are based on the colour of an individual's skin. How fucked up can that be, really? But actually, it's worse than that, because I've told you a little lie. Because we don't actually label anybody by the colour of the skin. Instead, what we do is we assign people a nominal skin colour. Okay, I can understand why you would have to do that. If you want to label people of different ethnicities by skin colour, you would need to assign them a nominal skin colour. But we don't just assign them a nominal skin colour that approximates to their skin. No, we take the two most extremes we can find. We take the polar opposites. We take the most divisive terms that we can possibly find. We label people black and white. I mean, it kind of beggars belief. If you wanted to set out to create some terms that would play into the hands of the racists, that would allow people to be divisive, you wouldn't label people light brown and dark brown, because if you were to do that, well, there wouldn't be a lot. You'd sound a bit silly, wouldn't you, saying, you know, I'm light brown and I hate people that are dark brown. No, what you would do is you would choose terms that are so distinct, that are so far apart, that it actually emphasises not just the fact that we're dwelling on skin colour, but emphasises just how distinct these people are. You couldn't actually pick on any worse terms if you tried, and yet these are the politically correct terms. These are the terms that we're all being encouraged to use. It's absolute madness. It couldn't get any worse, except of course that it does. Because the one thing surely we should be celebrating, the one thing we should be promoting, the one thing that shows just how ridiculous all this dwelling on skin colour and race or even ethnicity, which is a much more accurate thing to be dealing with, is people of mixed race, of mixed ethnicity. Surely that's something to be celebrated, not something to be overlooked. And yet the real tragedy is, far from celebrating this, we seem as a society, and certainly the press, seem to promote people into choosing one camp or the other. We're not interested in somebody being mixed race. We're not interested in celebrating that. We want you to choose one of these two camps, one of these extreme positions that, even if you weren't mixed race, wouldn't well represent what you are. So look at what we're doing. We're labelling people according to the one characteristic that we're trying to turn a blind eye to. We're taking the most polar and divisive position, the most polar and divisive labels on that characteristic that we can possibly find, and then we're actually trying to push every individual, even the most inappropriate individuals who are mixed race, African, European, to choose which one are you. Do you class yourself as black or do you class yourself as white? And none of this is regarded as racist. None of this is regarded as bad practice. All of this is done by the most politically correct people and the most politically correct institutions. So it's my view that it's time, high time now, to stop feeding the racists. It's time to stop sponsoring terminology which is any racist's wet dream. We need to approach this with different language, because language is a perfect tool to encourage divisiveness, and in my view at the moment that is exactly what is happening, and that is exactly what we're doing, even those of us with the very best of intentions. Well, if you've any views on this, make a response, make a comment, tell me I'm talking shite if you think so. Thank you for watching this video, and bye for now.